I just want to let you guys know that this is like my 7th attempt. I think I think I've only had 1 cup of coffee today, so that could be it. But I've had a lot of emails from you guys and stuff, really encouraging and thank you. And a lot of you had said that I digress. One moment. I wanted to let you guys know that I'm obviously stressed and kind of like this right now, and I wanted so bad to go out and get donuts or something evil, but I didn't. I had, you're seeing this, tuna with vinaigrette. So, aren't you proud of me? And I did work out today. I haven't eaten enough today. I've been on the phone and dealing with conference calls and interviews and stuff like that. So, it's been crazy. I know I need to eat more, but I did work out. I did, golly, what did I do? Shoulders, triceps, and chest, with some cardio. But anyway, I wanted to give you guys like a summary because I've had a lot of people ask me this in person, and a lot of you have asked, and some people were twittering me today, and they're like, how can you stay so positive? How can you know, I'd be stressed out, I'd be drinking, whatever. And I guess I wanted to share with you that it's just a matter of how you choose to react to situations. I said that the other day that I was reading Jack Canfield. Events plus your reaction to it determine the outcome, and it really is true. I don't have any special skill that other people have. I wasn't born being happy. I just choose to be happy because you know what? You figure out soon enough that the stuff's going to happen anyway, and if you sit around and whine and complain about it and get stressed about it, it inevitably, first of all, it's not going to change anything. Second of all, it's only going to give you wrinkle lines, and then you'll have to buy more Arbonne from me. And third of all, it takes a toll on your body. I mean, when you really start to realize it and start to pay attention, I can get headaches, some people get stomach aches, whatever. There's a direct correlation. Anybody can confirm that between stress and your body, whether it's blood pressure. That's what my dad, he gets high blood pressure. I tend to get headaches or stomach aches. But anyway, I just wanted to say, I guess, getting through the divorce, it was just my faith that got me through and just believing what God says in the Bible, which is He will restore your life, but it doesn't say when. And I love the way Joel Osteen puts it. He says, all things work together for good. It doesn't mean that all things are good. It means they work together for good. And how many times, think about this, can you look back at a job you didn't get, at, a boyfriend that you broke up with or didn't marry, or, whatever, a house you didn't get? Doesn't it always turn out that you got the better house, you got the better job, you got the better boyfriend, whatever? I certainly know I can say that. I told you guys, if you look back in the blogs about, this job. I was interviewing for a job a year or so ago. It was like perfect for me. It was so exciting. It was going to be this and that, and great pay, and the way that I like to work, and it was getting involved in politics, which I'm not really interested in, but the way that it would have gotten me involved in, it was exciting. And I had 4 interviews with this company, and seriously, I don't mean to be egocentric, I've never not been offered a job, ever. And it just dragged on, and then they all of a sudden were like, we're not going to pursue this, it's a new position, and blah, blah, blah. And I literally was like, am I being punked? What's going on here? And at that time, I couldn't understand it. I was angry, I was ticked off, I was stressed, but you know what? I ended up getting a different job that was not what I planned for. It was a lot less money. I met some of the greatest people that are my great friends. I learned everything I could possibly want to know about pay-per-click advertising, search engine optimization, all that cool stuff. And that led me to a different place. So to try to give you a quick synopsis, though, I just want to share with you the last 2 years, and to say that stuff's going to happen. You just have to keep bouncing back up. Many of you know I'm divorced, but I never saw myself as wanting to get married my whole life. Everybody that knew me knew that I didn't want to get married. I didn't want to have kids. It just wasn't my route. But I met my ex-husband in Sam's Club, which is why I don't shop there anymore. Defective merchandise. But I met him when I was 35. I think I was 35. We were together for 2.5, 3 years, and then we got married. And a year later, we were married a year, 2 weeks after our first anniversary, he just literally, we're sitting on the couch talking, and we hadn't fought, there weren't fights, there was no warning sign, no nothing. He just was like, yeah, I'm not happy, and you're not going to go camping with me. I'm not lying to you, this is the line I had. You're not going to go camping with me or hunting with me, and I think we're 2 different people, and I haven't called an attorney yet, but I think we should get divorced. And I was like, are you kidding me? And I asked him repeatedly, is there another woman? you know, because I'll be happy to let you go if you've cheated. But he denied it, which of course turned out to be a lie later. Long story short, I was trying to work things out with him. He wouldn't work it out. He wouldn't go to a counselor. He wouldn't talk about it. He wouldn't explain anything. He started to get violent and started to drink more. He started smoking. I felt that I was not safe in the home anymore, and consulted my attorney and consulted my family because they were tired of hearing me cry. It got so bad that I literally had to call my friend Rich every single night when I would go home to my house and say, can you walk me in the door? Because I was scared to walk in the door. I didn't know what I was going to face. And it's horrible watching somebody that you've loved turn into a completely different person that you have no idea what's coming. No idea. And you can't talk to them. So I had to, one weekend when he was gone, pack up, get my family and buy boxes and pack up the entire house because everything in the house was mine. We couldn't, I had my parents in charge of looking for a place for my 2 cats that I'd had for 13 years. Couldn't find a place for them, and they were looking and looking and looking, and that Saturday my dad called, said no one's going to take them, they're too old, all of these experts say that they'll starve themselves. And so I had to take my cats that day and put them to sleep, because if I would have left them with my husband, he had already threatened that he would let them out. So I had to kill my cats, then I had to move out and live with my family. You know, all my stuff was in storage. Everything I had was in storage. I had to live with my family. 2 days after I moved out, my husband never called. Once he went back to the house, he came back to an empty house with nothing in it. And he never called me, never cared. And 2 days later, my neighbor called and said that he was sitting on the porch with some blonde redneck chick in a flannel shirt smoking, making out. So that was my answer. Then after that, you know, we proceeded to go through the divorce. I'm looking at my notes here. Easter of that year, I had an appendectomy, and my husband was notified that I was in danger of losing my life, and he didn't care, and he canceled my health insurance. And then I found out while I was laying in the hospital bed that he had put our house up for sale. And then a couple weeks later, he calls me and asked if I would sign papers so that he could buy a new house with his new love, which he didn't tell me. He still denied that she was there, even though everybody had seen her and he was engaged already to her. So there was that. Then, let's see, then there was an odd part where he started to get friendly and wanted me to come over and just hang out and drink beers with him, and he didn't get how bizarre that was. Then I got this other skin infection, or the first skin infection from the hospital, which I've showed you guys on my blog, the strenothomaltophilia, whatever, that I still have, that I'm still dealing with. And then at that time, I was working for my brother in his office, kind of as a tide-me-over, and that's when I started getting recruited for this job that I told you guys about. So I kept it secret because I didn't want to, you know, let anybody know. And then my dad let it slip to my brother that I was interviewing for this job, and then my brother fired me. And so because I had applied for a mortgage for my new house that I would get after the divorce, I lost my job, and the mortgage came undone, and I lost the house. So then I had to move in with my parents, and still have all my stuff in storage, still dying because I've always been on my own. And looked for a house all summer long. Every deal we had fell through. We had annoying sellers, all of that. I got a new job, new mortgage. My brother and sister were both like, "You're so stupid, I can't believe you're buying a house," blah, 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 blah. I was on medication for the skin infection all summer. Suffice it to say that family drama got even worse because this Christmas, I spent Christmas by myself in my house, while everybody else was at my brother's house. And then things got okay. And then in April of this year, the company that I was working for went through some changes, and they had originally hired me to run a sales team, and then that wasn't going to be a possibility anymore. So then I was like, okay, time to move on. So started looking for a new job, and then in the midst of that, the skin condition got worse. I did start a new job, been dealing with medical issues, dermatologist issues, doctor issues all summer long. And then found out that my ex-husband got married to his fiance, and then my company went bankrupt. So all that to tell you that stuff is going to keep coming your way, but you got to keep getting up, because if I can handle it, you can. And all I'm going to say is that which doesn't kill you does make you stronger, and that's why we got the guns, right?